Hello and welcome to the news hour right here on Voice of the People Television. I am Chioma Innocent. Before we begin, kindly visit our website. It's www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. First, the headlines. Explosion kills 2 in Kaduna Dicon blast. Nigerian Air Force kills 25 fighters in night raids across Northeast. Federal government pledges timely delivery of Abuja-Kano Expressway. Governor Fubara vows to complete ongoing projects in Rivers State. Edo by-election peaceful as APC dominates, and Trump sets $100,000 yearly charge on skilled worker visa application. In business, World Bank launches $510 million deal into developing nations. And in sports, Manchester United beat Chelsea 2-1. In entertainment, Yola Doce urges colleagues to pursue excellence. Now on the news in details. Tragedy struck the Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria factory in Kaduna on Saturday when an explosion during gunpowder production killed 2 workers, including a military officer, and injured 4 others. The blast shook nearby buildings and sparked panic amongst residents. Eyewitnesses said the injured were rushed to St. Gerard Catholic Hospital before being transferred to the 44 Nigerian Army Reference Hospital for further treatment. Relatives and staff gathered at the hospital as doctors attended to the victims. Sources reported the explosion involved primer powder used in arms manufacturing. Both civilian and military personnel were affected, with the injured in critical condition. Residents have expressed concern over safety standards at the factory located in a densely populated area. Efforts to reach Dicon management for comment were unsuccessful. The Nigerian Air Force says it has neutralized more than 25 terrorists in coordinated night air raids across Borno and Yobe State. According to Air Commodore Ehime Ejoname, the strikes were launched after intelligence from ground troops revealed terrorist movement near Banki and Bula. Surveillance aircraft tracked the fighters while strike jets hit the assembly point in 3 precision attacks. Officials confirmed all threats were contained. NAF says the operation highlights ongoing support to ground troops and its commitment to weakening insurgent activities in the northeast part of the country. Meanwhile, the federal government has restated its commitment to completing the Abuja-Kaduna-Zaria-Kano road within 14 months. Minister of Works David Umahi made the pledge during a site inspection, describing the 761 billion project as a lasting legacy for future generations. He disclosed that over 210 billion has already been released, adding that the new construction built with concrete and asphalt is designed to last more than a century. The minister, joined by his deputy, urged contractors to deliver on schedule, stressing that the road remains a top funding priority for the Tinubu administration. Moving on to politics, the presidency has dismissed opposition criticism over President Bola Tinubu's handling of the Rivers State emergency, insisting his intervention restored peace and democratic order. Presidential advisor Sunday Dari described the African Democratic Congress's accusations of autocracy and federal manipulation as laughable and nuisance politics. He said the president acted under Section 305 of the Constitution, invoking emergency powers to prevent bloodshed and safeguard governance in the state. According to him, the move was not partisan but a constitutional necessity, adding that posterity will remember the president for restoring stability in Rivers State. Meanwhile, Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has pledged to complete all ongoing projects across the state. In a statewide broadcast, he assured that no project would be abandoned or denied funding, adding that this commitment is key to reviving the state economy and improving citizens' welfare. The governor thanks President Bola Tinubu for his intervention in resolving the state political crisis, describing him as a fatherly figure who restored democratic governance. Fubara maintained that peace and stability have now returned to Rivers, stressing that he has chosen reconciliation and unity in the best interests of the people. Still on politics, Edo State held a councillorship by-election on Saturday across 15 local government areas, with voters turning out in a largely calm exercise. VOPTV correspondent reported the smooth distribution of sensitive election materials and orderly voting at polling units, with no incidents recorded. All candidates on the ballot were from the APC as other parties failed to obtain nomination forms, sparking debate among voters about the reasons for their absence. Residents described the election as peaceful and well managed, with expectations that the results will reflect grassroots choices. Moving on to crime issues, the Kaduna State Police Command says it has arrested 2 suspects tied to an armed robbery and attempted murder in Lagos. The operation followed intelligence-led tracking at Naibawa quarters in Kano State. Police identified the suspect as 25-year-old Matthew Adewale and 31-year-old Mukhtar Mohammed. Officials say Adewale confessed to attacking a resident of Bera Estate in Lagos, leaving the victim with serious injuries. The attackers allegedly forced the victim to transfer over 2 million naira into Mohammed's account before fleeing. Both men have now been handed over to the Lagos Police Command for further investigation as the authorities vow to step up efforts against cross-state crime. More on crime, gunmen attacked a mining convoy in Yagba, West Kogi State on Friday, killing a soldier and abducting 4 Chinese workers. The convoy was en route to a mining site when assailants opened fire. One Nigerian soldier was shot dead while a police inspector sustained gunshot injuries. The 4 Chinese nationals were seized before the attackers fled into nearby forests. Security forces, including the army, police, local vigilantes and hunters have launched an operation to rescue the kidnapped workers and apprehend the assailants. Authorities are warning mining companies and expatriates to remain vigilant, emphasizing the need for heightened security measures in high-risk areas of the state. In a very tragic development, a Catholic priest, Reverend Father Matthew Eya, was shot dead on Friday in Eha, Ndiago, Nsukka local government area in Enugu State. The attack occurred while he was returning from Enugu City. Sources said gunmen on a motorcycle disabled his vehicle by shooting the tires before opening fire at close range. No kidnapping took place, suggesting the attack was targeted. Father Eya served as parish priest of St. Charles Catholic Church and was a native of Ogbeke, Enugu, Ezike. He was alone when the assailant struck. Authorities, including the police and the Catholic Diocese of Nsukka, are yet to release an official statement as investigation continues. The Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Enito Ogunwusi Ojaja II, on Saturday crowned 20 new monarchs at the Palace of Odua in Ile-Ife. The ceremony highlighted the rich traditions and cultural heritage of the ancient city. Oba Ogunwusi reminded the newly installed Obas that their crowns represent responsibility, not prestige, urging them to promote peace, unity, and development in their communities. Senior traditional leaders advised the new rulers to govern with humility, fairness, and loyalty to Ile-Ife, stressing the importance of selfless service over personal ambition. The Oni emphasized collective efforts for cultural preservation and socio-economic growth, reinforcing his role as custodian of Yoruba traditions while celebrating the kingdom's enduring legacy. The Ishakiri Traditional Council has called on Delta State Governor Sheriff Oborewere to investigate rising tensions between the Ishakiri and Ijaw communities in Warri. The demand follows the removal of banners celebrating the 10th coronation anniversary of His Royal Majesty couple Maxine Oromoni in disputed areas. Council officials stressed the locations belong to Ishakiri land and urged the police to conduct a thorough probe. They also asked the Ogbejo monarch to remove banners outside his jurisdiction. The chiefs warned that ignoring the situation could worsen unrest, urging the governor to restore peace and enforce the law. Youth and community leaders backed the call, warning that further inaction might trigger violence. They appealed for dialogue amongst Ishakiri, Ijaw, Urobo, and other ethnic groups to maintain harmony in Warri. Now to health issues, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention has reassured Nigerians that there are no cases of Ebola or Marburg viruses in Abuja. Two suspected cases tested negative after thorough investigations. NCDC Director General Dr. Jide Idris commended the traveler who reported early symptoms at the private hospital that quickly raised an alarm, preventing wider risks. The agency says surveillance at airports and other entry points has been strengthened with isolation centers and laboratories on high alert nationwide. NCDC urged the public to avoid panic, to stop spreading unverified information and maintain good hygiene while health workers remain vigilant across the country. Still on health, authorities in Adamawa State are investigating a deadly flesh-eating disease that has claimed 7 lives and infected dozens in Malabo. Samples have been collected for laboratory tests to determine the exact cause. The National Tuberculosis, Buruli Ulcer and Leprosy Control Program says symptoms suggesting Buruli ulcer, a disease that progressively destroys skin and tissue, sometimes reaching the bone. 8 patients are currently receiving surgical treatment at Modibo Adama University Teaching Hospital in Yola. Federal and state health officials, alongside development partners, have been deployed to affected communities since September 14 to contain the outbreak. Awareness campaigns are ongoing as some residents initially blamed witchcraft for the disease. Experts warn that prevention requires proper sanitation, safe water, and a coordinated multi-sectoral response. Treatment combines antibiotics with surgery, while efforts continue to stop further spread in the region. You're still watching the news on Voice of the People TV. When we return from the break, millions unite to fight global waste crisis. Stay with us for these and more stories right after this break.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOPTV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOPTV, Voice of the People Television.
Welcome back. The world is marking World Clear Up Day, dedicated to tackling solid waste and environmental pollution. Observed every third Saturday of September, the campaign mobilizes millions of volunteers across more than 150 countries. Participants clean up streets, rivers, beaches, forests, and neighborhoods in a united effort for a healthier planet. VOPTV's Victoria Ogbaki reports on how communities are stepping up to protect the environment.
From crowded city streets to rural communities, from riverbanks to oceans, individual families and organizations are joining hands to rid our planet of waste. Plastic pollution, litters, and unmanaged waste have become major threats to both human health and biodiversity. But today proves that the collective action can bring real change. Let's hear from an expert who is an SDGG advocate and the founder of EcoCity Vision, Comfort Omolara Alabi.
The World Cleanup Day is a global movement that brings millions of people together to take actions against waste. And it is significant because it is to show that waste isn't just a local problem, but a global one that affects our health, environment, and economy. In today's world, where 2 billion tons of waste are being generated every year, it is important to raise awareness concerning this, encourage collective responsibility, and inspire long-term behavioral change towards a cleaner and more sustainable future for planet. Poor waste management has caused a lot of environmental challenges like flooding, which is due to the blocked drainages, air pollution from open burning of waste, contamination of water, which has led to increase in diseases like cholera and malaria. It also contributes to climate change because decomposing of waste releases greenhouse gases like methane, CO2, and these gases trap it in the atmosphere, which causes natural disasters like flooding and Ukraine. In Nigeria, some major challenges we faced when it comes to waste management is the inadequate waste collection system. We don't have enough of waste collection services, and this has led to uncollected waste. And there's also low public awareness. People don't even know about the importance of proper waste disposal. And one problem again is the poor recycling facility. There are not enough facilities, and this has led to so many waste going to the landfill, and it has brought upon pressure on the landfill. And also lastly, the indiscriminate dumping, whereby people just dump their waste anywhere, and this has led to so many environmental challenges. It is important we take care of our environment because there are a lot of things happening in our environment that we are not aware of, and waste is something that is very harmful to the environment, and which many people don't even know about the harmful effect. We have a lot of people going through health challenges, but they don't know that the things happening in their environment are actually the one causing it. So I feel like if you are hygienic and then we are taking care of our environment, it is going to like bring more of like good health, and we don't have to spend money on taking care of our health every time.
The aim of this day is not just to pick up trash, but to raise awareness about the danger of plastic pollution, poor waste management, and unsustainable consumption habits. According to the United Nations, about 2 billion tons of municipal waste are generated each year, much of it ending up in the ocean and landfills, threatening wildlife and human health. We also spoke to the assistant of the Eco City Vision, Okpeyemi Boluwatife Afuwakwe.
So globally, it started in Estonia in 2008, where everyone has to like rush in to clean up the community in less than 5 hours. Then from there, we started locally at Nigeria, where over 60 million volunteered annually to clean up the community. And this is where Eco City Vision comes in, where everyone, both the community-based cities, the NGOs, the students, and group of people came in to clean up the community. This is what happened daily, I would say. So the plastics have affected everyone mostly, especially in my community where I've seen both rural areas and urban areas. It's like it affects us both harmful, especially for our health, where we have to take plastic as something that we have to reuse, recycle, and reduce. One thing I would say is we have to use the 3 R's, which is called recycle, reuse, and reduce. When you take care of these things, you know how to level out your plastics and not to affect human health. I feel like when you are taking out your, let's say reuse of bags, reuse of plastics and cans and nylons, it helps us to reduce daily out footprint. When we are taking care of that and we are using it to reuse our things, it makes sure that everything is in a balanced way. My advice to people is, even if the community are not doing it, we can take up this challenge to clean up our community. It is what we do in Eco City Vision. And yeah, a lot of people have come and say, we want to volunteer for this. We have to make the community clean, even if the government are not doing anything. This is my advice to you all. You can take 2 or more 3 people, clean up your community so that it will not affect our health. And this is what we have to do daily. So yeah, to prevent our health.
World Clean Up Day is more than just an event. It's a reminder that the planet is our shared home. The real task is not just cleaning once a year, but building a lasting culture of responsibility and sustainability. Victoria Ogbaki for Voice of the People TV.
It begins with every one of us. This is our environment, this is our town, this is our community. And the most important thing is that we have to get our environment clean. Health is wealth.
Many thanks to Victoria Ogbaki for that report on the World Cleanup Day. Meanwhile, in Ekiti State, Governor Biodun Oyebanji has called on residents to maintain a clean environment and avoid acts that cause environmental hazards. Speaking at this year's World Cleanup Day in Ado-Ekiti, the governor, represented by the Waste Management Authority Director General Sukomi Onikwede, said the state is taking measures to prevent epidemics and natural disasters. The government has procured 60 dino bins, 3 waste trucks, and is setting up a recycling plant at Loko-Ekiti to promote safe disposal of waste, especially unwanted fabrics. The State Emergency Management Agency also warned against dumping refuse in waterways, while participants marched across Ado-Ekiti markets to raise awareness on healthy living. Moving on now to industrial matters, nurses and midwives at the Lautech Teaching Hospital in Ogbomosho have begun an indefinite strike over the non-implementation of the new national minimum wage. The union says the action follows a 15-day ultimatum that expired without response to their welfare demands, including unpaid promotion arrears and severe staff shortages. They warn that a strike could cripple services for thousands of patients, as Lautech is the only state-owned tertiary hospital serving Oyo and neighboring states. The nurses are urging Governor Seyi Makinde to step in, stressing that the strike will continue until their demands are fully met. To political matters, Catholic bishops in Nigeria say the nation is drifting towards a one-party state, warning that the suppression of opposition voices is unhealthy for democracy. The bishops issued the warning in a communique at the end of their plenary meeting in Akwa Ibom, signed by Archbishop Lucius Ugoji and Bishop Donatus Ogun. They condemned politicians' obsession with power ahead of 2027, saying it fuels corruption, inefficiency, and neglect of citizens' welfare. The bishops also called for urgent electoral reforms and an impartial judiciary to safeguard Nigeria's democratic future. President Bola Tinubu has ordered automatic employment for the 4 children of the late FCT head of service, Dr. Grace Adailo. The directive was delivered by FCT Minister Nyesom Wike during her funeral service at the National Ecumenical Center in Abuja. Dr. Adailo was celebrated for her dedication to public service, especially in ensuring prompt payment of salaries and entitlement to workers. She was also remembered as a selfless leader whose humility and hard work left a lasting legacy in her community. Ibadan is preparing for a historic moment as former Oyo State Governor Senator Rashid Eladoja becomes the 44th Olubadan of Ibadan land. The coronation will take place on Friday, September 26 at the Mapo Hall. President Bola Tinubu is expected to attend alongside Yoruba monarchs, governors, diplomats, and thousands of Ibadan indigents from home and abroad. The week-long celebrations include cultural displays, a lecture by Professor Toyin Falola, and a mega praise concert that coincides with Oba Ladoja's 81st birthday. Over 2,000 security operatives have been deployed to ensure safety as the coronation is broadcast live across Nigeria and beyond. You're still watching the news right here on Voice of the People TV. Stay with us for more stories coming up right after the break. Welcome back. We take you straight into the World Report, where United States President Donald Trump has signed an executive order imposing a $100,000 annual fee on companies applying for H-1B visas for skilled foreign workers. The new policy, effective September 21, will require payment each year for up to 6 years, covering all new applications. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said firms must decide if foreign talent is worth the cost, insisting major corporations support the measure. Critics warn the policy could cripple smaller companies and weaken U.S. competitiveness, especially in the technology sector. Still on the World Report, air traffic across Europe was thrown into chaos on Friday after a cyber attack hit the check-in and boarding systems used by major airports. The disruption caused widespread delays, cancellations, and long queues. The attack targeted systems operated by Collins Aerospace, a service provider whose technology is critical for passenger check-in and baggage handling. Airports in Brussels, Berlin, and London's Heathrow were among the hardest hit. Officials say data is now being processed manually, slowing operations. Travel experts warn the breach is highly significant and raises questions about aviation cybersecurity. Passengers are being advised to check flight updates before heading to the airport. A Russian farmer has set a new national record by producing the country's heaviest pumpkin. The giant vegetable weighed in at 969 kilos during the competition. Grower Alexander Chusov credited the achievement to months-old scientific care, from seed selection to soil heating and precise nutrition. The pumpkin was the star of a contest that attracted more than 3,000 participants, featuring other giant crops like a 144-kilo watermelon and a 73-kilo courgette. Organizers say the winning vegetables will be displayed at Moscow's historic apothecary garden, offering the public a rare view of these oversized harvests. A group of 143 Haitian soldiers have completed basic military instruction in Mexico, part of a bilateral effort to support Haiti's struggling armed forces. The 8-week course run by the Mexican Army covered self-defense, firearms handling, and human rights. Among the recruits were 15 women and 128 men. Haitian ambassador to Mexico, Hubert Labe, praised the initiative, saying the skills gained will help build stability and promote peace at home. The program comes as gangs tighten their grip on Port-au-Prince, leaving Haiti dependent on regional allies to restore order and security. In eastern Congo, growing violence is leaving hundreds of civilians disabled and in need of prosthetic limbs. Hospitals and aid centers say demand is rising sharply as the conflict worsens. At an orthopedic facility supported by the Red Cross, many war victims are now receiving artificial limbs. Patients say the devices offer them hope of regaining mobility and dignity. Among them is Jerome Jean-Claude Amani, who lost his leg in an attack that also claimed his wife and children. He says the prosthetics has given him a new chance to walk again. Technicians report a dramatic increase in war-related amputations, with more than 800 people treated this year alone. Production of prosthetics is on track to surpass last year's total by mid-2025. Now, pro-democracy activists from Eswatini staged a demonstration outside the U.S. Embassy in Pretoria on Friday. They are protesting a reported agreement to return deported migrants to the kingdom. The group accused King Mswati III of accepting up to $500 million from the U.S. in a deal they say will not benefit ordinary citizens. Protest leaders argued the funds would only strengthen the monarchy's grip on power, pointing to widespread poverty, high unemployment, and deep social inequalities. Demonstrators are urging both governments to reconsider the agreement and put the rights and welfare of the Swazi people first. From foreign, we head straight into business, where the World Bank has unveiled a $510 million investment deal aimed at mobilizing private capital into emerging markets. Through its private sector arm, the International Finance Corporation, the bank will package its loan portfolio into securities listed on the London Stock Exchange, creating a new asset class for global investors. World Bank President Ajay Banga said the move is designed to free up resources for more projects while giving institutional investors access to markets they often overlook. Analysts say the landmark deal could reshape development financing, offering struggling economies fresh access to infrastructure and social investment. Still in business, Nigeria's downstream oil sector is facing fresh disputes among refinery operators, petroleum marketers, and truck drivers' unions, raising concerns about the future of the country's refining revolution. The Crude Oil Refiners Association of Nigeria warned that a rivalry between depot owners and the Dangote refinery could derail Nigeria's shift to local refining, urging collaboration instead of confrontation. Senator Steve Karimi also appealed to unions, including Nupeng and truck drivers, to negotiate with the Dangote refinery rather than stage protests, stressing that disruption would harm millions of Nigerians. Analysts say Nigeria now stands at a critical crossroads, either sustain unity to achieve self-sufficiency in fuel production, or to risk stalling a transformation that could lower prices, create jobs, and save foreign exchange. From business, we head straight into sport news, where Manchester United took control early in their Premier League clash at Old Trafford on Saturday. Chelsea goalkeeper Robert Sanchez was sent off in the 5th minute for a foul on Brian Mbeumo, leaving the visitors a man down almost immediately. United opened the scoring in the 12th minute and doubled their lead before half-time, taking full advantage of the numerical superiority. Chelsea managed to pull one back in the second half, but struggled to create sustained pressure. Despite the goal, Chelsea could not equalize as United maintained control over possession and limited clear chances for the visitors. The match ended 2-1 in favour of Manchester United, strengthening their league position, while Chelsea faced scrutiny over defensive errors and game management. Still in sports, Tottenham Hotspur fought from 2 goals down to draw 2-2 with Brighton in a thrilling Premier League clash at the MX. Yankuba Minte and Yassine Ayari fired the Seagulls into an early lead, putting Spurs on the back foot. Richarlison struck just before halftime to give Tottenham hope before a late own goal by Jan-Paul van Heck secured the equaliser. The draw leaves Spurs 5 points off the leaders, while Brighton stay mid-table after surrendering their advantage. We'll take a short break, and when we return, entertainment news is up next. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now to entertainment news. Nollywood actor and filmmaker Yul Edochie is urging fellow actors to focus on professionalism and quality and not just the size of their paycheck. In a message shared on Instagram, he said even if an actor earns as little as 10,000 naira, the performance should be worth $100 million. Edochie warned that lowering standards due to poor pay leads only to failure, stressing that consistency and dedication are key to long-term success. He added that even unpaid roles should be treated with the same commitment, as greatness comes from excellence in every performance. Still on entertainment, Nollywood actress Iyabo Ojo is celebrating after her grandson, Rakim Ayomide Nkambala, officially received his Canadian passport. Rakim, born on August 24 to Iyabo Ojo's daughter Priscilla Ojo and Tanzanian singer Juma Jux, has already become a social media sensation with thousands of followers. Iyabo shared the news on Instagram, posting a video of baby clothes with Canadian symbols before joyfully announcing the passport milestone. The family, who earlier held a lavish gender reveal in Canada, said the development underscores Rakim's ties to Nigeria, Tanzania, and Canada, drawing congratulatory messages from fans worldwide. And that is on the news hour. Before we go, a quick look at the headlines. Nigerian Air Force kills 25 fighters in night raids across Northeast. Federal government pledges timely delivery of Abuja-Kano Expressway. Fubara vows to complete ongoing projects in Rivers. Edo by-election peaceful as APC dominates. Trump sets $100,000 yearly charge on skilled worker visa applications. In business, World Bank launches $510 million deal into developing nations. In sports, Manchester United beat Chelsea 2-1. And in entertainment, Yul Edochie urges colleagues to pursue excellence. Do also subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV, and on other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. If you witness news happening near you, we want to hear from you. Send your eyewitness reports, event coverage requests, photos or videos directly via WhatsApp to 0814-606-4057. You can also reach our newsroom by email at news@vop.ng. I am Chioma Innocent. Thank you for watching.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Also watch us live on SLTV channel 264. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television.